It's definitely a hard conversation to have, but it's also an important one. How do you pay tribute to a loved one that has passed away in a way that pays tribute to their life or a loved one's life? Well, joining us this morning with some tips, please help me welcome Richard Greedy. He's the Community Development Representative with Lake Lawn Metairie Funeral Home, and he is joining us now from Lake Lawn. Hello.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on
Honored
the
to be
show.
here.
Unfortunately, due to this pandemic and just life in general, many people have been put in this situation. What are some of your tips regarding how to design a final farewell that pays tribute to someone's life?
Well, it's important uh, when we are talking about something in advance, like a pre-arrangement, that it's a conversation that the family should have among themselves, along with a funeral provider, such as here at Lake Lawn Metairie Funeral Home. But they need to consider what's important to them. Because many times, as we all have done, we say, "When I die, I want dot dot dot," and we make that statement. But we need to think about that. And the big moments in our lives are very important. We all plan for weddings, we plan for births, vacations, college, those types of items. Why don't we plan for our funerals? Those are it is just as important as these other items. It is important that we make our wishes known and have these details put down, written down.
It is very important that we plan. It's also important to adapt. And I know you all in the funeral industry have had to adapt due to COVID-19. What are some of the changes you all have done in response to COVID-19?
Well, we've had to adapt very quickly in this difficult time. We offer streaming services so that family and friends can join virtually uh, and be anywhere around the country to be able to see a service. We also offer the opportunity for families that wish to hold a memorial service at a later date after this is passed, and it can be a meaningful service. They have time to think about it, and they can bring people together.
Are these the ways that you all have seen? Are there any other options available for people who want to maybe memorialize a loved one?
There are plenty options available. Whether it's a funeral or a memorial service, it should be personalized for to reflect one's wishes, and we can do that by using videos, personalized music, special readings, mementos, involvement of family and friends at the services. All of these really mean and make a service much more personal.
I think
And
personalizing a funeral is so important because you want to see the joy, that that loved one had all the time. A smile says a lot about somebody. You all also have these really interesting things called Imagine books. Tell me a little bit about that and how that helps document one's wishes.
well, the Imagine booklet is a booklet that is free for the asking through any of the dignity memorial providers, such as Lake Lawn Metairie Funeral Home, and it gets you to start thinking about items that are important to you. It's a great resource. It helps you to walk down the path and spur some thoughts about what has been important in your life. And so that you don't miss any of these things that may have been very important to you at one point, and now it's kind of in the back of your mind, but still very important to you.
Mhm. And of course, I know unfortunately from experience that a funeral can get very costly. It's important that we finance these funerals in advance, right?
Certainly, once we document our wishes and record, it's important that we support that. A lot of folks believe a will and a living will are vital, and they are. They're very, very important. Wills are important for handling financial affairs, and a living will is for general wishes relative to medical procedures. But funeral services still need to be planned and need to be paid for. It's so much easier to do this in advance. When you do that, it is paid for at today's prices. It's locked in, and it's done when families can talk about this, talk talk about financing, have terms that are available for everyone.
And when should we start planning for a funeral?
Oh gosh, it's never too early to start planning for a funeral. Mine's been planned for quite some time now, my wife and I. But when you, uh, as you mature in your life, it's one of the items, just as we said earlier, births, weddings, vacations, that funeral needs to be something that you could start at any time.
It's never too early. Richard, thank you so much for being here this morning. And hey, you can all download a free planning guide. All you have to do is visit dignitymemorial.com/details for more information.